Hey everyone, it's that Math Magician. On this video, we're going to take a look at functions and we're going to see can we evaluate this function at a given point. So let's jump right into this example problem where it says evaluate the function f when x equals 1, 3, and negative 2. And we're given the function f of x to equal 3x squared minus 4x. And we want to see what is the function going to be when x equals 1. Let's start with that first guy, x equals 1. Well, what that means is we need to take our function f of x. I'm going to start to rewrite it, but instead of having x there, I'm going to place that x value as 1. 1 is the input here. Think of it like you're dropping the 1 into the function. We want to see what's going to come out of it. So when x equals 1, we're going to then have this equation that says not 3x squared, but 3 times 1 squared, right? Because 1 is our x value. Everywhere you see an x, you need to change it to your new input value. So instead of 3x squared minus 4x, we have 3 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1. And now all we have to do is simplify this expression and figure out what we're ended up with. So let's go ahead and solve this out. Remember, order of operations, 1 squared, right? 1 squared is going to be 1. So I could write this out as 3 times 1 minus, well, 4 times 1 is just 4. We're getting really close now. Well, let's see. 3 times 1 is going to give me 3. And 3 take away 4 ends up equaling negative 1. So negative 1 is the output when our input is 1. That right there is our final answer. Always remember to box those answers. That's how you evaluate the function f of x when x equals 1. Well, the question also says we want to evaluate f when x equals 3. So we need to now take that same function. I'm going to go ahead and do this little trick here because I'm a little lazy. I'm going to highlight that function and I'm going to slide it on over here now. And for f of x, again, I'm going to keep that function f, but this time I'm going to change that x value to be 3 because we want to know when x equals 3, what is our output. So let's plug in a 3. Everywhere you see an x value, you need to change that to be 3 because we're evaluating the function when x equals 3. Let's do the same steps we just did. Start with order of operations one more time. 3 squared is going to give us a value of 9. 4 times 3, well, that equals 12. We're doing really good. Alrighty, 3 times 9 is going to give us a value of 27. And last but not least is, what's 27? Take away 12. I believe that's going to give us an answer of 15. So when we take f, our function, and we input a value of 3, the output ends up being 15. We have evaluated the function when x equals 3. And notice, 2 different inputs there. When x is 1, when x is 3, it's giving us 2 different outputs. And that most likely is going to happen just because of the way our function is. Alrighty, we got one more input that we want to take care of. I'm going to scooch this over right here. Again, I'm going to be a little lazy. I'm going to highlight that function so I don't have to keep rewriting it. I'm going to slide it over. We have one more input to look at, and that is when f equals, not f, but when x equals negative 2. So we're going to now take our function and have an input of negative 2. So one more time. Everywhere you see your x, you're now going to change that x value to be negative 2. Again, let's solve this out, simplify, and see what our output is. So let's go ahead. Order of operations, exponents go first. Negative 2 squared is going to give me positive 4. Alrighty, now let's see. Negative 4 times negative 2, be careful. 4 times 2 is 8, but because we have a negative 4 times a negative 2, a negative times a negative always makes a positive. So that actually becomes positive 8. Okay, be careful when you're working these out. Alrighty, 3 times 4 is going to give me 12. And 12 plus 8 has a value of 20. Again, when f, our function f, has an input of negative 2, it looks like our output is 20. This is how you take a function. In our case, this was our function right here. F of x equaled 3x squared minus 4x. Whoops, I did not grab the whole thing. F of x equaled 3x squared minus 4x. And we took our different inputs there. X was 1, x was 3, x was negative 2, and we plugged it into that function. We got our outputs. They were all different. That's okay. But that's how you evaluate a function. Alrighty, y'all. It's That Math Magician, and I'll see you on the next video.